Nation and mining family, what is going on? What is up? What is up? I see Jason, the Tiger Osborne, dropping in the FAs that I've got to approve of. That's fine. I approve of it. Panda streaming at 4 p.m. as well. Yeah, that's why I was a little late, guys. So I was sitting there messaging Panda in Discord right now, giving him some shit. I had to give him a little bit of poop. So, yo, what's going on, Sadie? Yeah, I had to give Red Panda a little bit of a hard time because he's live too right now. And thank you everybody for being here and all that good stuff. Also, Panda, I knew the moment that Crypto Hunter said that Panda was streaming that he had no idea that I was streaming too. Which I've been streaming, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time for months. And I don't think, I think his little randomness of live streaming here and there, he just didn't realize it. So I had to give him a little bit of a hard time. So sorry for being a little bit late, guys. Yo. So what is going on, Patrick? It's like Jason, the Tiger Osborne. It's like, I hate tax season. Can somebody tell the IRS to stop stealing our money? I will agree with that one, guys. And certainly everybody agreeing with that one. Smash that Lizzie like button, guys. Subscribe if you're new here. Hit the bell notification for everything. Yo, you know the drill. You know what's up. And if you're new here, there are links down below, too, to my Discord. And if you would like to have rigs hosted over at the Family Mine, have me and my home doge, Crypto Mikkel, post your stuff over at our facility. Check out the links to my Patreon down below. Get on the VIP list with the Pseudo Hashers tier. Yo. I know, shameless plug. Shameless plug. How dare you? So let's just go right on into it, dive into today's tidbits. So of course we are holding that $23,000 Bitcoin mark, guys. So congratulations, we are now establishing what I would like to call a ground floor. We've got to be able to sit there and basically establish some kind of a support line in the $20,000 range. We never set the. It was resistance at the end of 2017, going into 2018, where Bitcoin smacked that $20,000 marker and then proceeded to crash from there. And then during this last bull cycle, we blew through that $20,000 marker and snapped almost all the way up to $70,000 per Bitcoin. Anybody who bought Bitcoin at those higher prices, they are eternal hodlers, and it will reward them. The price will come back. I just don't know how long that's going to take. It's like it took a hot minute for it to come back for the people who bought at 20,000. I'm going to factor in it should do something of the same thing this time around. But seeing that Bitcoin is kind of leveling off, we're putting in a support structure at the $23,000 marker. This is a good thing for the entire market. We are now, what up, Gundy? We are now seeing the entire market kind of leveling off. You don't really see things really typically outperform Bitcoin in any meaningful way. I don't care if it snaps straight up after Bitcoin levels off sideways. Yes, you have a chance of riding a rocket for a moment, but don't forget to pull the parachute before the rocket comes back down faster than you can bail off. And people don't realize that's the game you have to. If you have a particular coin that is rocketing off, Polkadot's rocketing a little bit, Shiba is rocketing just a little bit there. Uniswap is rocketing just a little bit. It's like, at what point do you just pull the parachute and take what profit you're riding out at? Or if you're still below and this rocket still doesn't even come near where you are at, you're not even worried about this yet. You got to watch that candlestick blow past your entry point before you even want to look at the market anyway. But seeing quick rises, they usually have pretty good pullbacks afterwards. It's never sustainable. Shiba Inu having a quick rise up, it's just been on a tear, almost 6% up for the week. That's a pretty good tear. It means that it'll probably come down. I would say, and probably about right now, about that 6% mark is where it'll probably pull back to. It's like people don't understand the fundamentals on this stuff a lot of times. And it's why I try not to go into these shitcoin markets. Let's be real about what this is. This down the list here is the gambling market. You wanted to have bought in at a lower point. This way, wherever it bounces up to at this point, you're always in profit. So you can kind of take your time and wait for it. Yeah. You can poop in one hand and hope in another and see which one fills up first, Gundy. You're too funny. Too funny over there, Gundy. It's like I can't believe that Terra Classic is still even in the top 50. This is this is garbage token here. It's like you just kind of come right down here and you're just going more and more, and you'll see periodic ones that are just on a nice little candle coming up, like Maker. This one's coming up. It's been doing it a little gradually, which means that probably about the 3 or 4% increase that it's seeing over the last week or two probably will absolve about 30 to 40% of that whenever it corrects. Because all this stuff's going to correct compared to what? That busy Bitcoin. Some garbage has enough steam to stay around. I know. I can never believe that some of the stuff you're like, wow, you're still up there? Ugh. Solana's still not doing good. For the week, it's down, almost 0.5%. It's down 2.22% of the day today. That means it wiped out everything that it had to rise to coming up with that busy Bitcoin. Solana's not going to be able to hold on to its slot up here. And since 2018, that whenever I got involved in this top 20 has changed out so many times for what sits at the top 20 here, guys. Bitcoin's been up there since I've started. Ethereum's been up there since I've started. Tether's been there since I've started. XRP's been there since I've started. Litecoin's been in the top. It has been mostly in the top 15-ish. But everything else has pretty much it has been in the last couple of years that they've rose up on these lists. I've never seen anything really stay up on the top 20 long term. They just, they come up that one time and that's it. Once the SEC comes down on XRP will be eviscerated out of this list, and nobody will ever look at this again. The only reason why people freaking buy XRP at this point is because, one, they don't know what they're buying, and two, it's in the top 10. And for 40 cents a coin, most people are like, well, I could sit there and deal with that. That's more stomachable. Not realizing that they're under investigation, they're in a legal lawsuit with the SEC, and they think that little wins with LBRY is going to sit there and boost up XRP. It's like XRP is a security. They're about to get RISD wrecked, and they think that LBRY is going to be what gets them out of trouble. And it's like, bro, LBRY is making legal wins where XRP is not. There is a huge difference in how these two cases are being presented at this point. So, and on top of that, you got Charles Hodgkins trying to help out XRP and then gets ousted by the community because they're little sensitive little girls over there that get all butthurt when you talk truths about XRP because for them to admit you're right, they have to admit to themselves that they were wrong. What up, Crypto Badell? It's like XRP is the best. Good luck, my dude. Good luck. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't make money off of a turd, but whenever XRP gets slapped by the SEC, which is going to happen either this year or next year, XRP doesn't realize that SEC legal battles can take up to 10 years before you realize that you just got shafted. So I always tell people, you know, if you're in profits, how greedy are you? I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. It's how greedy are you at the end of the day? And that'll make the difference on the amount of people that are going to be in the same boat as you whenever the floor comes out from underneath you. Is the nozzle the same thread size for the micro Swiss as to the stock extruder nozzle? I don't think so, Crypto Badell. I don't think so. I went and grabbed nozzles. He's actually Crypto Badell just privately DM'd me. He's like, with 3D print nozzles, the Micro Swiss, which is an upgrade, a hot end, versus the Creality stock extruder, and I believe that if they're the same nozzle, if they're the same thread pitch, they're different lengths on what gets screwed into the hot end itself. I believe that's what's different. So left on limbo. Yep. XRP is about to figure out, you know, the cold reality of what it's like to be. They passed the Howey test. No problem, Crypto Badell, no problem. But, you know, XRP is going to find out, you know, that they passed the Howey test, and that's not a good thing. Nobody wants to pass the Howey test. Period. Anything that's not Bitcoin passes the Howey test. That's just how how it is. I mean, they say that Ethereum didn't pass the Howey test. I'm not sure who they paid off to get that one to go through, because if you look at just the issuance on how Ethereum started off, that's a security. Period. That passes the Howey test. That it was the way that they launched it. The launch itself is what the issue is for Ethereum. My XRP Lambo will be here in 7 years. Yeah. Right. I've got a bet that comes to in 4 years. That XRP will never get over $5. So far I'm correct. It struggles to even be above 50 cents. Good luck with that. Much love to you, my dude. Much love. My opinion, we'll be seeing stuff way before then. I passed the Howey Mandel test, so I qualify as being crazy. Too funny, Tiger. Too funny, my dude. Like, XRP made me a bunch at $2. Crap, for $5, I'll sell it all. See, now you got a plan, you know. But good luck on that. Good luck on that. Check this out, guys. So it's like This next article, I'm kind of like torn into two different directions on it. So here's my thoughts. So AMD has been Lisa Su came out and publicly, she didn't like publicly say it, but it was during a meeting with inside the company. She had stated that they were under shipping GPUs and CPUs while keeping prices high. Now, yes, they will be able to keep prices high because the demand for stuff outpaces the amount of available supply within the retail or commercial market, right? But if you will go to certain stores, you would always see that AMD was always in stock. I mean, there wasn't anywhere where I had to be where they were like, "Oh, we could put you on a waiting list." The next shipment of these comes in at the end of the week. I go over to Micro Center, and the AMD rack is filled from front to back. You look over to the right side, and Nvidia is empty all the way down. Scarcity, like you would not believe. So, was it the fact that they were really trying to keep the prices high, or did they have an idea that certain areas, yeah, it wasn't, maybe in certain areas it would keep it high if there was a high demand for them, but in a lot of other areas, like you go to Chicago, AMD was not flying off the shelves. People were lining up for Nvidia. I mean, like 300 people in a line at Micro Center waiting for Nvidia GPUs. And it's like, and out of all of, it's like out of all the times that I was at Micro Center waiting in line trying to get a GPU, out of all the times, a handful of them there were for AMD. Otherwise, yeah, everybody was like blowing through the Nvidia stock for what little was available. And it always looked like AMD had the plentiful supply. And even whenever it's like I've got people that go down to Micro Center and are like, "Yep, still very little, not very many, Nvidia cards." Although there are a lot of the 4070s out there and 4080s, 4090s are non-existent, type of deal, right? What up, Crypto Correg? Smash that like if you haven't. That's true, guys. Smash that Lizzie like button. Yo. So it's like, yes, there are going to be price manipulations going on here because they've got to answer to stock shareholders. At the end of the day, they've got their stock shareholders to be beholden of. So unfortunately, they're at least they're admitting that they're price gouging a little bit here in one sense, but at the other side of it, why make a whole bunch of them if they're not moving at the price point they're already positioned at? I mean, not too many people want a $1,000 GPU. I mean, look at it's like if you go on to what gamers are looking for, gamers are mostly gaming still on 1060 Ti's, 1660s, and maybe some 3060s, and and then scattered in with, AMD 5600s, 5700s, 6600s. They have now been just kind of grossly coming out of, we're trying to be the budget-friendly gamers. It's like AMD was always for, hey, we'll give you the best bang for your buck. It's not going to give you all the feature sets that Intel has. You're not going to have the same performance as NVIDIA, but you know what? You're going to be able to game. You're going to be able to do what you need to do on your computer on a budget. And since when do people want to be spending $1,000 for their top tier GPU that doesn't compete with NVIDIA's top tier GPU with the same sets? It's like, yes, I understand. It's you're coming in at $600 less. That's still not good enough at that point. It's like, you're supposed to be that mid to low tier, and that mid to low tier comes in at that $800 to $900 marker. Most people that I know, it's like even myself, I'm gonna go after a GPU that's $500. $500 is a lot. I mean, my yo, thank you Gundy for the donation. Yo, that is legit. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, the having killed Raven. I mean, a lot of stuff like, Kitty is here. Yep. Having did kill Raven, that is for sure. It's like there's no development going on Raven. That's what really killed. I don't think it's so much to having. It's like, what development does Raven Coin have? Realistically, none. If they do something cool and exciting and do something innovative, it's like you're poking Raven, going, hey, Tron Black, okay, do something cool. Right? It's like, unfortunately, I don't think it's so much the having killed the payout to making it viable in any way, shape, or form at that point. It's like at least Tron has the Raven Cruise every year. Oh my god. I didn't even realize he was still doing that. Too funny. But I mean, it's like, yeah, they're now we know that AMD and Nvidia are both sitting there being anti-consumer with shady business practices of basically holding back inventory to maximize the amount of profits for their stock shareholders while not caring about you in any way, shape, or form. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter about you. It's about the stock shareholders, because stock shareholders are the only reason why AMD has a viable business. They are not beholden of the consumers and the customers they have, because without the stock shareholders, AMD would be gone, right? And I hate that ideology coming out from corporate leaders within big corporations like this. It's like, put your stock shareholders in their place. If they do not like the way that you conduct business, go put your money in another company. This is how we do business. The customers give us money. So that money creates revenue. The revenue makes the stock share prices go up. It's not that we have profits, we extract the profits out, AMD buys their shares so that the stock shareholders can sell their shares at higher prices. They need to stop doing that stuff. Stop pandering to the beholden stock shareholders. Tell them to piss off. And start making products that are reasonably priced for the average consumer. They're not looking for top tier gaming, and they don't want to be paying for mid-tier gaming like they are paying for top tier stuff. It's like, get over it. It's like, yes, the AMD is making some good CPUs. Okay, their CPUs are in line with Intel. Okay, now I see the value proposition between Intel and AMD sitting there and kind of trading blows with each other on whose chips are at what pricing, right? But to sit there and see that they're doing it on GPUs that are like low end to mid tier GPUs and trying to charge it like it's Nvidia's bottom tier lineup because they're selling it for more, they're going to try to jump on the bandwagon too. I'm not cool with that stuff. And it's like, it's so hard to get behind these companies and be like, guys, this is what I'm going to build my computer with next. And then you find out a little bit later on, oh, son of a, you're doing it shady business practices too. Ugh. Now it's like, okay, you're either going to pay out the wazoo for a top tier GPU, or you're going to pay mildly out the wazoo for a low end GPU from AMD. It's like, oh, it's like a consensus to screw us over. Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you don't like it, move along. Stop getting butt hurt over highly manipulated stock prices. Exactly. It's like, if we had an honest company conducting business for the customers and not the stock shareholders, we would see a whole different gambit of investors out there. Investors that probably had more confidence in what the market was actually projecting to them. But that's not the world we live in, unfortunately. And us as consumers, we get to suffer for it. And I'm hoping that with this, Intel comes in and kind of becomes that low end tier GPU that people need. And it looks like with the new ARC drivers, everything is getting a lot better. But it's like I just hope that Intel decides to go, hey, we're trying to make a GPU in a market that AMD and NVIDIA no longer want to be involved with, which are the normal working class people who don't quite live paycheck to paycheck, but they're damn close. Where, coming up with $300 to $400 for a GPU takes them a year. So if you're going to sit there and be like, oh, in a year's time, that GPU is garbage, and you're not allowed to have the new one because we're going to sell the new one that was at this price point at $500. So now it takes you 2 years, and then by the time you save up in 2 years, you're like, man, it's been 2 years since I've even touched a computer. Why am I even building this? Because they keep moving. They're like slowly moving the goalpost down. So hopefully Intel comes in and puts a little bit of heat on the lower end market. And grab some good market share at the bottom end. It's like that was one thing I loved about AMD was that you can guarantee a $200 to a $400 GPU from AMD, which was in a better relationship to the average gamer. It's like, okay, now you're telling them they can either save up for a GPU. It's not even the whole computer. Or they can take that same amount of money and buy a gaming console. But guess what? That gaming console has the same GPU they're trying to sell you. But you're getting a whole computer out of the deal. It's like little disconnect from the do-it-yourself market versus the game console market. It's like, it's hard to get behind all of this. It really is. So I'm kind of hopeful about Intel, but we'll see. Just wanted to get that. That was like a little bit of a like screw in AMD for this one, right? I mean, but it's the market we live in. There's nothing we can do about this. Just like another stunt that AMD is doing, and it makes you wonder if this is some more of them holding back inventory, guys. So AMD's 7000 series X3D CPUs launched on the 28th. Guess which one didn't get launched? Yep, the 7800 X3D, the cheaper of the CPUs. Now get this, here's the caveat. For gaming performance, no difference. Streaming performance, no difference on any of these. They said that all the 7000 X3D chips would be released by February 28th. And all they did was the top tier ones, and the 7800 X3D is now pushed back till April. So you either have to bite the bullet and spend more money that you really didn't have, or you're just going to be like, well, I guess I have to wait. Because there's no difference for what the average consumer is going to be using. I mean, these 7000 X3D chips, they're pretty good. Now, from a mining standpoint, these will mine Monero pretty damn good. They'll be efficient. They'll be able to do. They'll be able to do everything that you're wanting to do with it at a good power rating. So I mean, like they're going to be perfect for mining rigs. But for anybody else, the regular consumer, they're going to want to go after that 7800 X3D for for 450 plus tax. They're not going to want to spend 600. They're not going to want to spend 700 because if you're trying to build a full AMD rig, they're going to want another $1,000 for you to be able to buy a top tier. Because if you're going to buy a top tier CPU, why stop there, right? You might as well get the $1,000 GPU. And by the time you're done and done and over with your build, you're at a $3,000 computer that you were only wanting to spend $1,200 on. You see where they get you? It's just business practices like this that kind of just irritate me. It's like, good God, stop trying to be money hungry and just deliver a product to the people. The economy sucks. Stop sticking it to the little people. That's just how I look at it. It's just how I look at it. Just saying. And guys, if you're running any of the ARC GPUs, Mikkel just updated the computer at the drivers at the facility because that's where my A380 is sitting at that I purchased, and he's like, bro, the ARC software when you boot it up, when you turn it on, it's a window, it's not an overlay anymore. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because that thing would be an overlay, and you can look at everything. It's like a transparent overlay. You'd be able to look at everything behind it, but you couldn't even minimize nothing because it's an overlay. So it's over the top of everything instead of being windowed like the rest of the world uses. Stupid it took them that long to freaking do it, but whatever. I'm not sure how well their overclocking abilities is going to be with this. It's at the facility, so it's like I'd almost have to have Mikkel put a Steam account on there and see if it's, how well its gaming performance is. From what I understand, it is a huge uptick in performance with DX9 support on there. So it should be able to play older titles all the way up to newer titles now with hopefully no issues with the DX9 moving forward. Hopefully they got all that fixed with their drivers. And it's not a hardware issue, that it was just not playable on the ARC architecture. So now we know that it's in their driver support. Now that the API is encoded in for it, it should be getting a lot better, and running ARC GPUs should be something that people will be able to do moving forward. And then if you're running an ARC GPU and you are running Intel CPU, make sure that you have smart access memory or whatever it is for Intel activated, because it looks like the CPU and the GPU will be able to benefit across the board. But will it play Crysis? No clue. The only thing that was dying during the Crysis era were the 1080 Ti's or something like that, or it was the regular 1080s, not the Ti's. It would the way that it did its call out, it was horrible. What up, the Goblin dude? From what Mikkel was saying, he's like it seems to be running a lot more smooth. You can sit there and change over your desktop now. You can sit there and control what it's doing. So low impact mode. You can turn off the data collection on there, so it stops trying to ET phone home, because that's just another process running in the background. All that stuff I would be like, low impact mode, yes. Data collection off. Windowed mode, yes. Desktop, desktop and overlay. Customized widgets, whatever. I don't care about that. But at least being able to make this thing not impact the CPU upon startup so bad. Yeah, they're coming along. They are now a viable option to for gaming now. So there's a lot of updates that came along that they've done, a lot of fixes. Like I said, I was gonna give Intel the benefit of the doubt with the launch of their GPU here, because they hadn't made a GPU in so long. So I mean, outside of their integrated GPUs that they have inside the CPUs, right? But that's a whole different architecture than having it be standalone and having it to be integrate. Being able to act like a modern GPU versus integrated GPU. What's up, Red Panda Raid? Let's go. I have to. Oh, I don't have it enabled. I thought I did. I know I did. Let's see here. I know I did. Let's see here. They won't let me. Let's see here. I'm not sure how that even works. Let's see here. That's that way. Like I thought I had it like it. I'll have to look at it again because it's like it's letting me do a redirect towards somebody else right now. I have to re-enable it because it's supposed to be enabled. It's supposed to be enabled. It's like, yes, let's stole your redirect. What up, Tech Man? What up? What up? But thank you, everybody, coming sliding in over from Red Panda Mining, his little live stream. I hope you all had fun and learned a thing or two about a thing or two about that kind of lucrative coin. Yo. So for anybody who's running the Intel GPUs, a lot of the software has been fixed on there. No, it doesn't mine for shit still. Let's just be completely real with that. Intel is horrible right now for mining. I don't know if it's just that they're not good for it, period, or if it's that nobody really has any of the optimizations in the miners for them to be utilized in a good way. It's like 9x should be renamed to Putin coin. So I mean, like, I don't know if any of the mining software has a true quote optimization for the ARC GPUs at this point. I mean, yes, I was able to mine on it, but like barely, and it like for the amount of wattage that it was pulling at the same time, it really was not worth it. If there's a miner that really goes out of their way to make an optimization, because like the first optimization that really was for it was mining Ethereum, and so what, I can mine Ethereum in Ethereum Classic? Come on, it's like, especially Ethereum Classic at this point, that's pointless, especially on an ARC GPU. It's like let's be real about that. So I mean, grabbing the Intel GPUs, you're not doing it because you're trying to build a mining rig. Until there's mining software that's completely optimized for this, that can use their architecture more effectively for consensus. As of right now, I don't know if it's a hardware thing or if it's software. Because like I don't see too many people behind the scenes really doing any, because the way that they tell me is that there's not enough of a demand from Intel people to make the optimization. Everybody's using AMD and NVIDIA, so they're not going to bother to really try to implement these in any fashion. That from what I understand, things can change, but as of right now, not enough people have these. Not enough people have faith in the GPUs because it's like with the Arc as they came out, you couldn't play older titles. It's like, yeah, you could play the new stuff, but the older stuff where a lot of people do a lot of their gaming, it wouldn't be able to touch. None of the, it's like I had the GPU for a while and nothing would mine on it for, I think I had to wait a week before there was finally a miner out there that could mine on Ethereum. And it was like, I don't even remember what the hash rate was on it. I remember for the A380, it was using like 50, 60 watts, and I think it was like 12, 15 mega hash, something like that. It was really just bad. The Goblin, is CPU mining with Intel even worth it? No. AMD has the better architecture at this point for mining on Kryptonite. So like mining Monero is highly optimized with how AMD does their cores and threads. Just way better. An A770 for gaming, 3060 for mining. right. And that would be a great setup. You're like, hey, I got this NVIDIA that card that could be mining. Let me go ahead and slot in a top tier Intel GPU in here that'll do everything that I need this GPU to do, but this one now goes to work. And I'm not going to cry that the Intel is in my main PC, not mining because it mines for garbage anyway. So I mean that's just going to be how it really boils down to, from with people coming in looking at the Arc GPUs. They're just don't get them for mining, guys. It's going to be a personal PC, and know that it's still a work in progress, guys. Still a work in progress. And what else is still a work in progress? Let's go into today's topic, guys. Is Celsius gonna? Are any of you guys invested in with Celsius still? And are you gonna see any of your money back? So Celsius publishes a list of users eligible for withdrawal majority of assets. Eligible creditors will not be able to withdraw their funds from Celsius unless they update their accounts with the anti-money laundering and the know your customer data. So you're going to have to re-register AML and KYC data. Nate's like, nope. It's like Dynex was dropping as many buzzwords as they could in one sentence. You know it, Nate. So for anybody that's into that had money in Celsius, I feel really bad for you. I had nothing invested in this. I'll be 100% transparent that I was talking crap about Celsius since day one. So it looks like the Celsius, and if anybody doesn't know who the person that started up Celsius is, Alex Mashinsky. This is the guy that created Voice over IP, VoIP. This is the guy that is allowing my voice to be able to be heard with you, with a bunch of other smart people that allowed the video to come in at the same time. We can thank this guy, but he wasn't smart enough to not create a Ponzi scheme. So his little Ponzi scheme imploded because he was basically gambling with users' funds in the DeFi market. And whenever the DeFi market imploded, which I was sitting there calling that since day one, that this was a bunch of garbage. And if you can't figure out what the product is, that means you are the product. So once the DeFi market imploded, because you cannot keep flooding the market with more and more crypto and think that the balloon can infinitely inflate. It will come crashing back down to earth very quickly once people start figuring it out that there is no viable product in there. Unfortunately, Alex Mashinsky was not one of those people who were smart enough to see that before it happened. The writing was on the wall, and he continued to keep gambling until basically the company imploded on itself. So the bankruptcy firm laid out the process in a 1,400-page court filing with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in the Southern District of New York, listing the full names of all the eligible users along the type and the amount of debated crypto assets. Celsius stressed that eligible users would be able to asked to update their Celsius account with certain requirements information before any withdrawals are processed. The request information includes customers' data related to the AML and Know Your Customers policies, as well as the designated address of the withdrawals. Celsius adding until. God, it's a really weird way of him saying that. An eligible user updates his or her account with the required updates. Such eligible users will be unable to withdraw his or her distributable custody assets from the debtor's platform. So if you have money with Celsius, you are a creditor. They basically owe you money. They're with the bankruptcy filings. The way that the lawyers will structure it up is that they sell everything off, and first you've got the initial core bills. They get paid off, like outstanding loans and stuff like that. So loans with banks always get paid first. Then it goes down to the major investors, and then after that, whatever is left goes to the creditors. And if it's a publicly traded company with stocks, usually you get screwed if you're in the last category. So being a creditor means that you usually get pennies to the dollar. Any bit that you can get back would be better than nothing. That's the same thing that you're seeing with the whole FTX scam, is that the Chapter 11 bankruptcy lawyer is reeling in any person that owes money back to the company. They will be taking them to court for payment. Even though that a company will, go bankrupt and they will go out of business, all assets must be taken in that are owed, and all debt has to be clear and free, and whatever's left at that point can be divvied up to the founders of the company if there's anything left during this process. Crypto gives 0 pucks. Yeah, buddy. So there, if you had stuff on there, or if you know anybody that has money on Celsius, tell them to, there's a potential you can get some of your crypto back, and that they need to update their account. And this is going to be per court filings. You're not doing another anti-money laundering and KYC stuff for Celsius. You're doing this for the courts now. They need to basically know who you are. They need to make sure that you are truly the owner of this account, and that your money is completely accounted for. In other words, no money laundering or any funny business, right? So, most people that are in there that I know, they're just going to be looking at just re-putting in their information, showing their ID again, and it should put them onto the list to recover some of their funds back. So some of the funds are better than none of the funds, guys. So like I said, if anybody that are involved with Celsius, tell them to go ahead and update their account. And the courts look, it looks like, per courts stuff, you might be able to get some stuff back. He's like, methinks start mining Monero, so far my CPU has only been doing nothing. Yeah. It's not very profitable, but yeah. A little bit of Monero here and there never hurts. It's privacy by nature. It's one of the few poop coins that I actually like. There are things, there are issues with the coin that I have personally. One, that the devs can sit there and change code anytime they want. They don't need a consensus. And two, there's basically there's an infinite amount of Monero. Really, nobody knows how much there's out there really. So yeah, it's an interesting one. He called that poop. As far as Celsius goes, I never used it. Yeah, that's how you stay safe. You don't use obvious scams. If I see stuff like this, I will call it out. And I called out Celsius day one. Day one that this was a scam. I'm like, I don't know how he's trying to sit there and do this, but he's not loaning out enough money to be able to guarantee, nobody's going to sit there and pay back a loan at 9-10% interest when they can go to their bank and get it for 6 to 7% interest. It's like, it's a no-brainer. There is no way that Celsius was ever being honest with how they were getting yield back to the customers. And now that the market took a shit on itself, we see that they imploded. It's like, what? You mean you can't get 25 or 50% interest? Bro. I got this thing called decentralized finance. You can get 1,000% APY. Yep, 1,000% APY. Don't ask me how. It's magic. This is how you get decentralization. It's magic. It's like if you can't figure out what the product is that they're selling and how they're generating money back, you are the product. He's like, I'm in, bro. I'm in. Shut up and take my money. Like, I have stuff to sell those. It's like, Mysterium is sound money. Yeah, exactly, Gundy. What up, Alex? What up? I mean, these are like the truths that people don't want to hear, It's like, and I'm the bad guy. I'm this Bitcoin maximalist, I'm toxic, guys, because I call this stuff out on day one, and then it's just like, let me sit back here, and I'm right now. It's like, I'm not trying to sit there, pat myself on the back. That's not the point of what this is all about. Try to keep you awesome people safe out there, guys. Yo! And whenever I see something funny and things don't add up, I'm going to call it out. And what you guys do with that information is all up to you. I mean, I know people who made money with the DeFi market, made more money than I made mining Bitcoin. Cool. Congratulations. And I'm glad that those few people got into the market, made money, pulled that money that they made out. I'm happy that they didn't get burned, But as far as a lot of other people, oh my God, I was just hearing people, they rugged me. Oh, I got rugged. Oh, I got rugged over there. Oh, I got rugged over here. Oh, it was a rug over here. Crypto crack, I expect 50% return. I'll give you this. God. Ah, too much. Too much. You guys are too funny. Ah. So, and just to kind of tie in, it's like, here's one where you're like, really? They're back in the headlines once again? Here we go again? Tether's back in the news, guys. Tether FUD coming out right here. We have Tether FUD. So Tether CEO denies borrowing from the bankrupt lender Celsius. So now the CEO is going, oh, I did not touch this. He's like, Paolo Adrino, the chief technology officer at Tether and Bitfinex crypto exchange, took on Twitter to announce that they never borrowed from Celsius. This is FUD. The tweet came in response to the Celsius Bankruptcy Examiner report, which allegedly mistakenly implied that Tether was among the Celsius borrowers, along firms like Three Arrows Capital, which borrowed $75 million from the firm. So to me, that is hilarious. It's like E2 2.0 tidal wave. You mean rug? No way. Right? Yeah, right. 100%, Alex. So here we got Tether being brought into all of this. If fiat goes to zero, what happens to stable coins? It should die. Really? Either that, the supply of Tether should go like ballooning out of control. It'll either be the death of Tether or it balloons out of control with the amount of Tether that gets printed. So, I mean, it's like outside of that, I don't see Tether really having an issue, but it's hilarious that they accidentally got listed into firms like Three Arrows Capital, which died because they were a scam. The reports note that Tether's exposure eventually grew to over $2 billion, which became an issue in late September of 2021 when it was described to the risk committee as presenting an external risk to Celsius. Denying any exposure to troubled Celsius, Adrino suggested that the examiner Shoba Fillet mixed up the prepositions in the examiner report, actually meaning that Celsius loans from Tether instead of Celsius loans to Tether. So, and I kind of remember this, that there was a loan that Celsius took out, and it makes sense that it would have come from Tether. They probably loaned Alex Mashinsky the money, thinking, "Oh, this guy is on the up and up. He would not screw us over. This is the godfather of VoIP, voice over IP." So either in the report or documentation, either documentation from Celsius was fudged to make it look like they had more money on the books than they really did, or there was a typo from the examiner report. But the Tether chief technology officer assures that they did not owe nothing. Celsius allegedly borrowed $1 billion from Tether with Bitcoin in Bitcoin in 2021. Celsius founder Alex Mashinsky stated that the company was paying an interest rate between 5 and 6% in June. Tether said it liquidated the $9 million loan, which came about a month after Celsius halted withdrawals. According to the last Examiner report, the loan amount was much larger than $1 billion. Celsius had borrowed $1.823 billion of the stablecoin USDT from Tether, posting it as collateral for $2.6 billion of its assets under management. Examiner Schuber wrote, that the collateral amounted of 17% of all Celsius assets. Apart from providing massive loans to Celsius, Tether is known as an early investor in the bankrupt firm Celsius and secured $10 million equity raise from Tether, which Mishitsky highlighted as an important endorsement by the firm. So they're trying to basically drag Tether into this. Tether has nothing to do with it. They are the good guys in this one. So don't worry about Tether, guys. It looks like they are pretty much doing pretty good. It looks like they did eat a portion of the loan. Where was it? Stop calling me. So Tether said it liquidated the $900 million loan. Now I don't know what that means by they just liquidated it, like they sold it off. Played hot potato with it, or did they pull in and force Celsius to pay the $900 million loan that was still owed? So it's like that's exactly what that means. Yeah. So I don't think this is going to affect Tether outside of some FUD that's coming out. So that's not a bad thing. Here's something, guys. I'll give this. This one's like kind of a funny one, a little bit. Kind of another like trying to dig themselves out of bad business dealings. We got Core Scientific, which is another company that got wrapped into the whole Celsius. Core Scientific was where Celsius was hosting their Bitcoin mining facility at. It was at Core Scientific, right? So Core Scientific is now in bankruptcy, for the most part. So Core Scientific filed an emergency motion seeking to sell Bitmain coupons worth $6.6 million, according to court records. As per the filing, some conditions apply to the coupons makes them useless for Core Scientific's business. That is wrong. I will disagree with this one 100%. So whenever you buy ASICs directly from Bitmain, Bitmain wants you to buy more. And they figure that if you buy one, that in a short amount of time, you should be able to buy another one. And they'll give you a coupon to buy one. What up, Automatic Beats? It's like I'm lurking. I'm working and lurking. That's what's up. So Core Scientific is now looking to sell these little coupons. They're wanting you to buy them, okay? They can, most of the time that I was getting them, I was getting like 20 to 30% off of one machine. So you had to order them one at a time. Boom. And order another one. Boom. You can sit there and do it that way and order them all one at a time. You couldn't do a bulk order and utilize all these coupons. It is what they're saying is, oh, we only order in bulk, guys. I can't make an individual order, so these are now worthless to us. But they're worth money. They're worth at least 30% of a device. So would you guys pay for a coupon that was given to them for free? Because that's what they're wanting to sell, is a coupon that was given to them for free in an email. I don't have any of them anymore, but I was getting them all the time. Anytime I purchased a Bitmain ASIC, guaranteed I'm going to start getting some coupons. So if you guys see Bitcoin coupons, do not be buying them, guys. They were given to them for free. They have no resale value. They are coupons. They're not, hey, you can buy a ASIC. No, it's a 30% off coupon that they were willing to sell. So it's like sitting there and going, oh, I clipped all these coupons. Can you want to buy one? I at least clipped it for you. It's like, now get the hell out of here with that. It's like you're gonna crash and burn. This is like the last ditch effort of a company that's on a sinking ship. They sold off their main facility to try to get out of a huge amount of debt that they were under. It's like, oh, cool, thanks for the heads up. Yeah, no problem. So I mean, like, yeah, it's just not. I don't even understand how they're getting away with this. It's like, I don't get it. But it's like they've only filed a motion to be selling coupons for 6.6 million. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. A smart judge should tell them no. If any judge with a half a brain sees this, is gonna be like, "You're trying to sell them what? And how did you pay for them? No. So you got them free, but you're trying to sell them? No. Motion denied." That would be me. I'd be really harsh. But yeah, stay away from this stuff. All of you awesome people out there. And one last thing, guys. I thought it was hilarious, guys. I try to leave on some funny stuff, right? So let's go ahead and bam. Charles Hoskins is going to be going on Joe Rogan's podcast, guys. I hope to God that Joe Rogan is smarter than what the utter garbage that's going to be rolling out of this guy, this scammer's mouth. I mean, he's pumping an algorithmic stable token. It's like, how much more scammer can you be? You're proud that there is a scam coin on your project. So Cardano, he's going to be going onto there. He was, what was it? Lex Friedman suggested to Joe Rogan to get him on there. And hopefully, our guy Joe Rogan is smart enough and asks the right questions and tells this scammer to stuff it. Otherwise, I'm going to lose a lot of respect for Joe Rogan if he's just sitting there drinking his bathwater. I see them for sale all the time through other resellers too. Wild times. Yeah. Never buy them. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that people are willing to sell coupons. It's like, oh my God, do people not realize that they're free? Ugh. I used to get them all the time when I was buying E3s. E3s and the L3 Pluses. Got a lot of those coupons. What up, the Deadwood? What up, my dude? What up? So, yep, hopefully Joe Rogan's smarter than this. Hopefully he doesn't drink the bathwater of this scammer, and basically puts him into his place of, it's not decentralized. Bitcoin's the only one, and you, sir, are a scammer, and and I don't know. I don't know what I'm hoping for, but yep. What's happening? A lot of stuff. I'm at the end of my stream, guys. So if you guys got any other comments or questions, certainly now is the time to ask. If not, drop those FAs in the chat while you're smashing the Lizardy like button. Yo! And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, why not? What you waiting for? It's good times over here. I drop good knowledge, all that good stuff. What up, Rude? What's going on? So definitely put those FAs in the Chizzity chat because you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. Yo! Ha. That's right, that's right. So thank you everybody for being here. Thank you Red Panda for the little raid. I'll have to see why other people are not able to raid back onto me. That I'm able to raid onto them, but I can't. Weird. I'll have to look into those settings. It should be allowed. But all right, guys. So thank you everybody for being here. Yo, thank you Sadie all the times. As Mikkel would say. Yo. So with that being said, guys, thank you everybody for being here. Peace out. Stay savage. Links down below if you're wanting to be part of the community. I have Discord links down below. If you've got mining rigs and you want to try to maximize your profitability, come check out the Family Mine LLC, guys. That is the company that me and Mikkel are in the process of starting off. We're adding in power. We got good, cool stuff going on in the background. Oh, amazing times. So you guys are going to want to get that VIP access before we open up our doors officially to the public, guys. It's coming. And it's going to come fast. Woo! I can already smell it. Smell all the hashing away in that facility. So definitely, if you want to have rigs hosted, check it out. Check it out. Links down below to be into the Patreon, get into the pseudo hasher tier, get into the VIP access. Yo. And F to the A, crypto correct. Yeah, buddy. So with that being said, I'll see you all on the next one. May your watts be low and your hash be high.